Okay, all right. So who do you think wins the early lane phase, Ahri versus Orianna?
Um, I must say I should win it unless maybe it changes at level 3 or level 2, but I believe I should win level 1 because I think I should have this. I should be good enough to dodge Q.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, I know I should win level 6 unless you're. I mean, I should lose level 6 unless you're bad because
Yeah,
you can R my R.
yeah, yeah. I'd say Orianna wins pretty hard levels 1 through 5, and then at 6 there's opportunities for Ahri, like if she doesn't get too far behind, to like
Mm-hmm.
get kills on the Orianna. Um, I'd say the biggest thing is whenever you're playing against an Ahri is like you don't stand in your wave. Although like standing out of your wave is good for, not getting hit by a charm. But if you stand in your wave, you're just gonna get pushed in kind of like you did in these 3 games that we played. Um, we'll watch this for a little bit.
Right. So my position is already bad then at the start, right? If I'm
Well,
already in the wave, so
yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, my Q's not up, so it's not as bad. But however, we can
okay.
we can watch your movement here. Is you're trying to be aggressive because my Q is not available. Here, wait, actually, one moment. Get rid of this epic pen, and then out of game. Foddery. Okay. Um, one of the things is like since my Q is down, you are able to stand in the wave, so it's not entirely bad here. However, you walk up right here, and like you walk up because you want to like last hit this creep. Um, you want to last hit this creep, but like this is just a free opportunity to use your Q. So you can just Q and then like back up as you Q and then last hit. So you could be like here, land the Q, and last hit this. But
Right.
instead, it looks like you get like stuck and like you miss the creep, I think, and then you walk up too far, and then you make it really obvious like what you're gonna do. So obviously, I'm gonna try to juke it, all right? Whereas
Right.
if you walk up and then like Q walk back, then it's like a little bit harder to predict what's gonna happen. Um, so it's kind of just having the fluidity of Oriana of like queuing while moving, while even changing directions, can make that easier. For instance, like you can have your mouse, say your mouse is here, my mouse is here, say I'm Oriana. I can
Mm-hmm.
right click here, and then move my mouse over here, and then press Q, and then like my ball, or like say if it was right here, like I'm moving this way,
Mm-hmm.
but my Q is going this way. So like I can do two different things at the same time in two different directions. And that's
Right.
something that champions like Oriana and Syndra like you need to know how to do well because they can use their spells while moving, which is one of the biggest, or at least their Q they can use while moving, which is like one of the most annoying things about Oriana and Syndra and why they're so hard early like lane phase is because they can use their spells while moving. So you need to abuse that as much as you can. And this first one was a little bit scuffed because I just chased you down the river. Um, that was kind of funny. I was like, wait, should I even be chasing him? But um, so right here, after I dodge, I get the auto in. However, you don't trade an auto back. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
So
I see
we'll go.
that's a thing that I have trouble with is like sometimes I don't know when it's worth the auto because like I'll take minion aggro and then it kind of
Yeah,
fucks with the lane.
yeah.
And
So right
sorry,
here,
if you're since you're in my vodding, if I need to not curse, I'm sorry.
this
I'll
this would
stop.
be this would be a bad auto to go for because you get hit by like everything.
Mm-hmm.
However, like if you were like more backed up here or something, it would probably be a fine auto to go for because I don't think all of these creeps would hit you. Um, But yeah, yeah, just like generally, like you don't want to be in the wave, especially at level 1, because I'm not gonna take charm at level 1. So there's literally no reason for you to be inside the lane. All right. Um, we'll go continue. The frames like lag really hard for some reason. There we go. Okay. I hit another Q. Do you know why this one hits? Or, go back a
Um.
bit.
I,
We'll watch
I
it
kind
again.
of felt I know I was upset with my movement, like I was like around the wall, and I started doing like the same thing back and forth.
Did you see why it hit? We'll watch it
Not
again.
exactly,
Okay.
no,
Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
because I stopped to click for the auto.
Yeah, yeah. It's because you were going for a last hit. So always what I'm going to be trying to do, and we'll look at the next two VODs too, is whenever you're going for a last hit, that's when I'm using my Q. That's when I'm using my charm. I'm not just like throwing it randomly. And so if you know like I'm a good player, you might not get punished for it as much in gold, but like
Mm-hmm.
if you know you're up against a good player and they're constantly punishing you on like last hits, um, then like for instance, whenever I go for a last hit, like I preemptively am like ready to dodge and just like cancel my auto attack. So it's like um, you're probably playing against people that don't punish you as hard, but when you do get higher elos, they will punish you very, very hard. And then so here I have a minion advantage, and I
Mm-hmm.
also have my corrupting pot running. And in Orianna matchup, I take normally I would just take glacial because it's better in higher elo, but if I was like in Diamond 1 or below, I would probably be taking Electrocute, and most Aries will probably be taking Electrocute in your elo. But I take Time Warp Tonic, and so I kind of use that spike to run you down here. But um, kind of is unfair because like in a normal game, maybe you would have a jungler, maybe you would. But the overall thing is like you didn't back up when you realized you didn't have the push. So
Right. I should have just waited for the wave to come
yeah.
in correct, and
So
probably just blast it with a max range Q,
yeah,
maybe.
right here is the last one you can get, and then you have to back up because like I could just clear this out very quickly. And so
Gotcha.
so after you get this one's maybe even a little bit greedy. You may have to use Q. You're at full mana, so it's like okay. And then you have to back up and don't zone yourself out of the whole entire lane. Because even if like I didn't chase you down here, you still would have had to go all the way around. All right. I probably would have tried to zone you off here as well, so you maybe have to go all the way around. Then you would have missed all three of these creeps, and so then you wouldn't hit level 2. So, so you would have been even probably like a just as bad spot, even if I didn't just chase you down. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a really important thing is you're watching your creeps to make sure that you're not overextending. Can I show you something really quick? We'll go here really quick. Um, then YouTube. Your videos. Challenger. This one. Hey guys. So I'm against a Twisted Fate, which is pretty similar to Oriana. In a sense that like we're just gonna be pushing early, and then like
Mm-hmm.
looking to harass each other. But do you notice the same situation about to happen to this Twisted Fate?
Yeah, he's looking to clear all three with a red card, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's looking to clear all three, but it's not gonna kill all three. And so you do know exactly what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna do
You're
exactly
gonna
what.
wait for the auto animation and just Q, right?
Yeah, oh, I'm gonna run at him and just auto him because I have my minions to back me up. So
Gotcha.
even players in Grandmaster and Challenger like sometimes make this mistake. We'll see if we'll play out the clip. So I just like go up and auto him once, twice, and then I Q and miss, but then I get a third auto. So I traded 3 autos for one, and then he doesn't end up getting this W on me. And so what I'm just trying to show with that is that, let me go back to, oh shoot, I wasn't recording that.
Ooh.
Oh well.
Uh,
Um, well, like what I was trying to show is that when you're like even high level players make this mistake, sometimes not watching exactly what's happening in the minions. But it's like something that I wasn't winning this lane before this happened, and then all of a sudden I just started winning this lane against this Twisted Fate. All right. And so things like that is the small things that you need to be looking for to maybe get an edge.
so could you go back to that one? Why would you say you're losing it already at level one? Because he was gonna have a freeze, or
The thing is, I'm not too worried about like I think I can actually push this wave in time before the junglers would come since it's still level 1. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think personally as Ahri, I like to be in that position. Like I wouldn't mind being in that position because I can Q the wave twice and push it out.
got you. I just know you said you were losing wave, and I'm like trying to understand these things,
Mhm, mhm,
because I understand, like, you said you gotta harass people when they're going for last hits,
mhm.
and I understand that, like, I understand that, but I'm not good enough to do it as well as you are. Like
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
never hit a tip or Q like that on Ari.
yeah. Which I mean, I've played a million or not millions, but like thousands of Ahri games. So you shouldn't like expect yourself to know how to do that. It's like I can't use riding a bike. I don't know how to ride a bike, but but like it's like
Just
driving or something is like once you like do it enough, like for instance when I first started driving, I used to be scared to go on the highway, but like now I can just go on the highway at any time. And so I think like playing a champion is kind of just similar to that. Is like you just get used to it over time. Um, okay, let's continue with this, and then we'll probably go to the next one in a second. Because yeah. So
Yeah.
this is yada
It's
yada
just the rundown.
yada yada. The rundown. We'll do this one open with. Okay. I change skins every time to make it I don't know, easier to see.
What to make what the cues easier for me to see?
No, just like the video, like the games are different, I guess.
Oh, got you. I was thinking as a form of BM because
No,
I know like some Ahri skins the cues harder to see.
no. The new Ahri skin though, dude, the charm looks so hard to see when it's coming out. It's pay to win.
Yeah, bro, you'll be a 1000 LP
Yeah,
challenger by then
yeah,
with that
exactly.
one. And then when the dialogue event occurs for your S plus Ahri moment.
Oh, I already got S plus.
Yeah. But at the end of the event you get special dialogue, right?
Like, what do you mean?
At the end, whenever they see you off on the Spirit Blossom event, you're supposed to get some extra dialogue.
Oh, like at the end of the event in like 2, 3 weeks or whatever?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So that's when
Yeah,
it'd be 1K LP.
no. Yeah, I hope so. Alright, so we were kind of emoting in the beginning, kind of trolling, but you always want to make sure that you, since your level 1 is like, say for instance, we had a level 1, no minions were spawning, alright? And we were
Hmm.
just 1v1ing, okay? I think
Right.
Oriana would win pretty easily because you could just outrange me while moving with your Q, and my Q is pretty easy to dodge unless I get really close. Does that make sense? And so
Yeah.
since
I
you win,
was
hard level 1, wow, what is this frames? You kind of did it in one of the games. Is you can kind of just push me off and like have your ball here, and you can just make me start the lane here, and you start the lane here, right?
gotcha.
We
I'll,
should never start the lane like equal to each other when I'm like a weaker level 1 champion. So here my Q's on cooldown. You can go for a Q here. Perfect. And my Q's up. I'm looking for you. You look for me. Notice how I'm still able to hit the wave and you at the same time, whereas you're not. Do you notice that? Go
hmm.
back. So
Yeah,
right
I was
here.
kind of upset about that.
Yeah.
I was like,
So that's just part of me getting the push early, and then, you know, I probably should have been able to dodge that one, which is a little bit of a mistake. But um, and then here, I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get the prio again. See exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting the level 2 advantage, and then what do I do once I get the level 2 advantage? Do you remember what happened?
um, probably put me down with a Q and you have a secure push, and then whenever you crash the wave, you can probably just look for EQ. I can't remember exactly what happened.
All right. So if I was Ahri, a lot of Ahris don't do this, but there's a lot of different champions that can. Like if I was Irelia or something, when I hit level 2, I'm looking for like a potential for like a really good trade, all right? And so when I get this last hit, I'm walking forward as I get this last hit. So like I was right here, and now I'm walking over here. I'm getting the last hit, and then I'm just gonna walk at you because I have corrupting pot, because I have a biscuit. I'm just gonna walk at you and just throw a charm at you and just trade on you with electrocute because I know that you're not gonna hit level 2. Look how long it takes you to get level 2 during this whole exchange,
Right?
right?
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
And the part of it is I'm autoing you, so your creeps aren't actually autoing, like, your range creeps are autoing me instead of this minion that you're trying to kill to get level 2. So, um, and I end up getting
Never
out with
thought
this
about it
trade.
that way.
Yeah. And then maybe I shouldn't have stayed around for that auto, which was maybe my mistake. But um, overall, I think it was a pretty good trade for me because I got both your health pots running now. And then I have Corrupting Pot, which generally will have more sustain, as well as Ahri's passive, which has pretty high sustain. Alright, do you see why this charm missed? I'll look again.
Uh, no,
Alright,
I was watching the wave.
let's watch. Let's watch your movement. See what happened?
He thought I was going to stand still to auto the creep,
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
exactly what I thought. So I thought you were gonna last hit that creep by autoing there, and then I was just gonna charm you on it. But you kind of did what I was talking about earlier, where you like are baiting me kind of that you're gonna last hit, and then you move, and then you last hit. So that was good, and hopefully like we could see more of that. And then right here, what's gonna happen?
Well, you got level advantage. I'm gonna guess you can probably pop a pot,
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know what that's worth,
yeah,
and get the movement speed and hit like a QW.
yep, yeah. That's
I
probably
mean,
what I'm
if I
gonna do.
guess if I'm really bad, you hit the Q or you hit the EQ, then W,
Yeah,
or some form of combo like that.
yeah. So whenever the opposing laner is about to level up, so you have to know that it's the first two melees on the third wave for level 3, and then it's the first one on the second wave for level 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, like you have to be ready for this trade. So potentially you could even win this trade based on how I'm playing it. Like if you just QW immediately, I then back up and all I can do is throw a Q and then maybe I'm not able to get the auto attack or something. There's a chance that you can even win this trade, but I could tell that you like weren't ready for it because you're not stopping your auto or you're not doing anything. So I end up only just using an auto attack, but it's still, it's still an auto attack, still a taste of blood proc. But now you're on cooldown, so I'm not very afraid of you. You give me another Q. I missed the last hits. So you kind of caught me off by surprise here because I was like, what is he doing? So right here, you probably could have just died. Do you know why?
Yeah, you should have just been able to charm me
Yeah.
unless I'm just good
Yeah,
or you're
yeah.
just bad. One of the two.
Yeah, this is a really like coin flip play here because if I charm you, you're probably dead and I run you down. But if I miss my charm, there's a chance that like you blow my flash and probably like
I
if you just all in me here, you could maybe just blow my flash if you miss the charm.
I think what I was trying to do is like, and I hate that my excuse is that I'm just not good enough, but I feel like that's a decently valid like argument that I'm making is like I know that I kind of have the wave going back into you, so I'm like trying to zone
Hmm.
while it's slow pushing back into you
Yeah, yeah.
is what I was trying to do.
So one of the things that you can do to contest my push is just like hopping like right over here, even though you're in the lane, and just throwing a Q real quick to hit everything, and then like
Mm-hmm.
backing up, letting your Q come back to you, and then do it again, which is like really a mana efficient wave clear as Oriana, um, and like at the same time while you're doing that, you can look like to hit me. Like if I stand over here, you can throw a Q and try to hit me while you're doing it too. Um, but yeah, if you do a trade like that, I probably should have just charmed you. Um, but I ended up not doing it. Part of my reason also, I think at the time for not charming you is I wanted to use my passive, partially on the wave as well. But I ended up misaiming it, I think. Um, Part of my Q passive at least. So here, do you see what I do? Here, we'll watch it again.
Mm,
Watch my character when.
gotcha.
So do you see that like small thing?
Yeah, yeah,
I
you
th
was
I thought
on
that
the.
you might
You
Q
thought I
me,
was gonna like cue
even
you.
though I think it's still on cooldown for like a second. I thought you were gonna Q me, and so I like canceled my auto to like try to dodge it. And here you're in a pretty bad position because you're pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting hit by anything here is going to be very bad. But that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like trying to respect it, and also if it was a real game, I'd be pretty screwed with a
Yeah.
jungler coming.
Yeah. But right here would be an okay recall time. Do you know why?
Kind of wave.
Yeah, it's cannon wave, and so I probably will be able to push it in time. But if you stay in this lane, you're probably just gonna die. So um, that was a nice kill nonetheless, though. But
Oh yeah, it was nice. I
but
think
like
I think part of my issue was is I should have been more aware that it was going to be the second cannon wave, and by the
mhm,
time I realized it was like kind of too late.
yeah. So I think
Like right now,
identifying,
I should be noticing.
yeah, right here, I'm not gonna freeze this because I would take too much damage, like from the wave,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm already pretty low. And so you should just be looking to try to get your recall here, and then I should be looking to stop your recall. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also there's like some thing where it's like it's a 1v1. Should I recall? Like I don't know if that ever went through your mind, but like,
Nah, I was more worried about just seeing if I could well lane against you,
mhm,
or lane well, not well lane.
yeah. I also got a biscuit there, which was very fortunate. In hard lanes like Syndra and Oriana, I like to take refillable or time warp and biscuits because it's very hard. So I think that's kind of like a lane rune rather than you know what I would take in a normal game, which would probably be like presence of mind or transcendence or something like that. We'll go over the last game. I'm on blue side. So yeah, I tell you to place the ball there, and it actually makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had seen people do that, like where I watched Zen coaching, but I
Mhm.
never like saw Dopa do it in a video, and I didn't understand what the reason was behind that, or at
Yeah.
least the ones I've watched.
Yeah. Do you understand why it's important now? After
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
watching this
definitely more
level
tether
one?
range. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
get the
like
nice cue.
now I can't walk up. It like kind of forced you to use your level one aggressively, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
now I can't walk up without getting traded on my Q no matter what, and I can't auto this creep for free. Rather when what I was doing the previous lanes where I was autoing it for free.
Gotcha,
So I just have to accept that I'm gonna, you know, get hit by that Q, and that's fine. It's kind of like, you know, pulling a baby tooth out or something. You just have to like just get hit by it, I guess.
I
Um,
got you.
I'm surprised that hit me, honestly. Nice. So here we mess up a little bit. You had a really good trade, and then you mess up. Do you know why? Like what went
I
wrong?
uh, I overstayed it, and I think he ended up rocking electrocute
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
waited too long.
So yeah,
Yeah,
you are.
after that auto, I should have backed up that
Mhm.
first one.
Yeah, exactly. I think you would have actually won that trade pretty hard if you just backed up and didn't let me proc the electrocute. I think you also have to keep in mind a champion like Ahri also gets innate sustain with her Q passive, and so
Mm-hmm.
trading 1-for-1 HP isn't always the best. So you need to like trade like, your 1.5 HP is worth my 1 HP or something. So because of my sustain, even it might not be that much, but you get the idea.
For
Um,
sure. Kind of like playing mana game when you're into a twist of fate.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so you had good trades, and then we just overstayed. We weren't paying attention. I have electrocute. Here our ball's kind of in a weird spot.
So can you go back maybe about 10 seconds? All right. So right here, what should I be looking to do? I know the lane's going to come in and
Mhm.
it's going to kind of freeze, and I'm guessing you're looking to crash.
Yeah.
Is my guess. What needs to be my goal?
Well, first of all, you need a backup, all right? Because if I just walk at you here and I Q you, I win the trade. I probably don't want to Q you because I want to use my passive, but there's a chance, like if I think it's gonna hit 2 times, I'm gonna Q you here.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, you need a backup. You can let this coming wave, so your wave is like right here. You can let this crash right here, and you can pull your ball back towards you, so it's with you. Then you can just use your Q to just like last hit and avoid any trades because I'm gonna hit level 2 before you. At this
Mm-hmm.
moment, you should like 100% know that I'm always gonna hit level 2 before you, so you shouldn't try to like contest me to try to get level 2 first. So you should just be looking to like kind of passively farm and then maybe use your Q to like poke if I like step out of position. Um, that would be the biggest thing I would say that um, you should do. Whoa, the frames are just dying. Okay. So here I use my Q on the whole wave to regen my health. And then here I'm looking for a trade. I know I can't land a charm, so I take W. We'll watch this again. Do you notice something that you messed up?
Um, in that trade right there
Yeah,
specifically,
that
no.
one.
But I feel like before that, I feel like I should have just queued the wave instead of trying to poke you.
It's right here.
Yeah, right there. I feel like I should have just backed up to have the ball on me
Mhm.
and then thrown a Q into the wave. I feel like.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that could have been a better play. I think you a lot of the times with Oriana is like you want to make sure your Q is getting a lot of value. And so backing up and then having it latch onto you and hitting the entire wave is like sometimes just the way to go. Um, Especially when you don't have like your E to do anything with it. One of the things like first of all you don't respect my level 2 there. All right, so that is a
Hmm.
thing. And then right here you don't even acknowledge that you're getting level 2 like yourself, I guess. Like you kind of seem maybe on autopilot or something. So you last hit it here, but like I don't feel like you're ready to use your W or like you want to use your W. I don't know. It's like you use your Q to
Um.
last hit rather than actually harass. Like maybe you were trying to hit me at the same time, but it kind of just looks like for harass rather than um or it kind of looks
So
like yeah, sorry, go.
so pause it, please. All right. So like right there where I'm getting level two,
Mm-hmm.
um, like you kind of have a big wave,
Mm-hmm.
and I I know there's a lot of things holding me back from getting better besides an instant like this with the question I'm about to ask.
Mm-hmm.
It's things like this. It's like, how do I know if me poking you is worth it versus me playing the wave? And
Well, you
that
could
that's
do
that's something I'm bad at.
the thing is like you could do both at the same time. I think now looking at it again, I think you just miss-autoed. I think you miss-autoed this creep. And you were trying to auto this one, and then you would have hit Q and maybe done a good play. So it might have just been a mechanics thing, but like you could do both at the same time. Is kind of what I'm doing to you, as I'm hitting you with Qs and I'm hitting the wave at the same time. And so like even
Hmm.
Oriana can do that. It's like a thing. And so if you pressure me hard enough, then I can't actually hit the wave. Like um, I wish I could show you a good example. Maybe I can. Like, let
Because
me.
like now where I've thrown that cube, the melee minions HPs are like kind of trash too. So like that's kind of like what I
Where
also
was
like
it?
meant by it.
Did I close it? Ori versus Ahri. Let's see if there's any. I'll watch this one. So he does phase rush here. So he's using his Q. He used it to push the wave. So notice how in this instance he actually has the push.
Hmm.
Do you like it could be either the Ahri player playing worse or Dopa playing better, but we can watch the exactly level 1. So here's why it's so important that you like get to push level 1 because the Ahri isn't paying attention or she's doing something else. And so like obviously I'm not gonna like I don't want to have that happen to me. But
Right.
this is why it's like so important that you get the pushes because then the lane turns into this and you have the push. And so if you're able to zone me out as much as you did this last game, then you can maybe get that more often. Let's see. So then he has the push. Ahri has to use her Q to wave clear, and he gets a free Q. Auto. Gets the phase rush, gets the auto. So here you can expect Dopa. He's gonna hit level 2 off this melee creep. He uses Q through the entire wave. Do you see that? Or like through most of the wave.
Hmm.
And then he's about to hit level 2 off this creep. She hits level 2 as well. They're gonna look to trade. He's gonna take his W probably.
Uh,
Nope. Okay.
I was gonna say his Q's on cooldown, so he couldn't do anything,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I think he could have maybe played it a little bit better and walked to the side and used it. But maybe he also knew his jungler was coming. That was a bad
Right.
push shot.
Because I was gonna say he kind of created a slow push with the
Mm-hmm.
first wave, or I mean a bounce back.
So
So I guess he was just looking to hold the
so
freeze
yeah.
like he usually does.
Now do you see like the position that Ari's put in? This is a very hard position for Ari. It's because he has the ball kind of behind her, and then he's has good HP, good mana, and then he also has the push. So he can kind of just do whatever he wants now. Probably should have W'd her, but he's kind of playing this kind of badly.
You think it's bad for him to try and look for the freeze, or do you mean like on a mechanical aspect,
No,
like
no,
the cues and stuff?
he could have W'd the Ahri is what I'm saying. But no, going for the
Oh,
freeze here
okay,
is fine if his Kindred's gonna come back.
gotcha.
But Ahri just warded left side, so might be hard. Yeah, it's crazy that he doesn't go for some of these Qs. So, you know, it's weird. It looks like Kindred's coming back. So he gets rewarded for his gank
He's
setup.
dead.
Yeah. So there we go. And so, what can I say about that? So there
Well,
he like froze the lane and his jungler come, I guess is the big idea. But no, strictly 1v1, pushing is gonna be like generally like bad.
right. That's what I have in my notebook. I have one is verse all inners, but like I outrange them or whatever.
Hmm.
Slow push one, slow push two, bounce back three for the waves.
Hmm.
That's what the numbers mean. Range versus range, and and I gotta play safe because of the jungle dynamic. I don't push the first one, or I look to have an equal wave, and then try to crash on the second. I have a bounce on the third,
Okay.
and then a hard shove. It's look the shove crash, crash, and then maybe like reset on the fifth wave. I know it's probably sounds like I'm just throwing out numbers or well words of
Kinda
numbers, but
does.
like
Yeah.
if I had a picture, if I could send you a picture of it, I'd show you what I mean.
Okay. I'd say there's a lot of fluidity of the game that you can't necessarily write down, so you have to be able to adapt to those. But I think it's good that you probably understand like hard shoving and then having a slow push, having a freeze, having a bounce back. Like I think that's important, but there's a lot of reasons in the game where those rules probably need to be broken. Um, but I think as long as you're like creating a plan on how you want to win the lane, then that's probably pretty good. Um, so is there a reason we don't go for an auto trade here?
Uh,
Wait. So we miss our Q. We obviously I'm not going to move forward anymore because I already got my damage off, and so you kind of predicted me moving forward, which would have been pretty bad for me. And then right here you shield yourself on my auto, and then don't auto back. So I think you could have just got a free auto, and even if your Q was up, you could have Q'd me as well.
I guess it either had to have been I was respecting the charm, or I
Um,
guess it was because I was just looking at it from a HP standpoint.
but I went
Or
way
it's kind
far.
of like they say, well, if I have 500 HP and he has 200 HP, if we both lose 100, it's still better for me, even if it's a bad trade, kind of deal.
Or yeah, it would be better for the person who has higher HP.
Right.
Yeah. So
But I
right,
guess even still, with having a shield, I should have looked for the auto. But
yeah.
maybe that's what was going through my
So
head.
right here, I wouldn't be confident in hitting this charm. Um, maybe I could. Maybe if I don't know. I actually could maybe hit that charm. That was crazy. But
Hey.
regardless, you okay? The frame's just like glitched out, but like you could move here, then auto attack, or move here, then auto attack. Like you can make this auto attack trade um, happen, and you could also Q as well. So um, so here you have to give up the wave. Nice. And then you end up using all your mana off of it. So
Yeah, I thought about that after I traded with you. I was like, son of a gun. I was like,
I was thinking about flash charming here, but if we trade flashes, I determined it wasn't worth it, so I just decided not to go for it. Um, but instead, do you see what I'm doing to you?
he's zoning me off
Yeah,
every
yeah.
CS.
I don't think someone in gold would necessarily do this, and I don't know if I would do this in a game because I don't like where's the jungler. If I knew where the jungler is, I'd probably do this, but um, I'm trying to pressure you as much as I can because I know like I have such a big advantage.
Yeah, I obviously I can't show you because I doubt there's going to be a time where I'm playing well enough to show you that I would do that. But like I know personally I would,
Okay.
even if I don't do it to the best degree possible.
Yeah.
Only time it ever happens to me is like maybe a really good Lux player because E's like half the lane.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, what do you think is like holding you back in your games? Um.
Um, well, so like I have a little goal list
Mhm.
that I have written down.
That's
Let me
good.
find it. So like I know LS says CS is king, and I've definitely proved that. Like whenever I've created a new account, and I can
Mhm.
just literally win off of more CS on
Yep.
any and
Literally.
scaling. So my first goal that I have down is CS is king, and then I call it. Then my second one is like map is queen, and like by that I mean ward, pinging, and tracking the jungler,
Mhm.
where all those things should tie in together.
Mhm.
Then my third goal is wave management. My fourth is trading, and my fifth is not dying because I like when I watch Dopa, like dude never dies, so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pretty important.
He
But
and when he does die, it's generally like always, or not always, but like it's generally like worth it. Like
mm-hmm,
he's not afraid to die if it gets his team 3 kills. So yeah.
exactly, yeah. That's why I have like not dying, but like less than five, because like I'm going to assume that
Mhm.
I'm not having a game where more than five deaths, every death was super important.
Mhm. Yeah. Whenever I was first like improving a ton, like in gold and plat and stuff, I'd always just go and look at every single one of my deaths and like what went wrong with that death. Like was I overstaying? Was I did I misplay mechanically? Did I set up the wave bad? Did I not ward? Like, usually identifying what went wrong with your deaths is like the easiest way to improve because it's like a blatant like you died here, um, rather than something like oh you missed this trade when you shielded yourself. Like it's a lot harder to see. Um, I think this charm was pretty insane, so I wouldn't expect you to dodge it, but I think the biggest thing is when you here when do I press tab? When do I press tab? Tab.
Yeah, you're probably out CSing me too.
No. What I was gonna say is I remember it when we were getting back to lane. I was at 24 CS and you were at 20. So like if we get back to lane both full health, like an even wave, pretty much what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lanes restarted. So like effectively I had like 100 more gold than you, and that's about it. It's like if you look at our items, like we both have boots and an item, like compared to
Mm-hmm.
what we started. So like we weren't that far behind, or like you weren't that far behind in this game, and I think that was mainly because the level one was so good. Because you can a level one like trading and trading after level one too is like very impactful on the lane as long as you're not being too aggressive and like dying to the jungler and stuff. Um, like you can literally win games in gold off of just trading correctly level one, um, and then like playing normally after that. That's what I guess I'm saying. Do you want to do another one and then see how that goes, or
For sure, I'd
okay,
like to.
all right.
And yeah, that's what I think's holding me back because I know like most of the advice you gave me, I've like said that I know it, but I can't do it, kind of deal. I don't want to say mechanics, but
Mhm.
I always hear LS be like, "There's people in Diamond with no hands," or
Yep,
everyone's
there
like, "You
is.
can hit Diamond off of just mechanics." Is the other thing I hear. So it's like,
I I think I hit diamond with no mechanics personally, but Now I do. Now I have mechanics.
Right, challenger, not challenger with no mechanics.
But
But
like mechanics are a trained thing. One of the things that I did to train it is I just started clicking a lot more, like actively, like worked on that, like clicking a lot, as well as like I had an APM tracker for a while, so I'd like try to improve that every game or so. Try to get higher APM. APM is not necessarily like a perfect metric to measure it, but it gives you some kind of metric. Um,
what did you use to track your APM?
I don't remember what it was called. I think they're all like scuffed out there, so it's like I don't know. I think I used like desktop APM or something, but like I think it stopped working for me, so I don't know if it would still work.
Gotcha.
And then I
I'll
like
try
set it
and
up for League. Try to
I'll
like
try and
Google one that looks not like a virus.
um and what whenever you were asking what holds me back, so like also I have the 5 goals, right?
Mhm,
And obviously I said like number one is the most important, and then like five being the least important kind of deal, even though not dying is pretty freaking important.
mhm,
I tried to put it more as like what do I have to focus on to improve. And at the bottom below that, I have every game that I play, and each one is given a number one, two, three, four, and five. And I either rate myself, I try and compare myself to 7 CS a minute at least, no matter what.
mhm.
Ask myself, how well did I track the jungler? How well was I happy with my wave management this
Souls
game?
may
Did my
forget they've
wave
ever
management
lived.
allow me to
Obsession begins when
impact
they
Scuttle
forget they've
Crab
died.
or a early jungle contest and things like that? And if I feel like I did bad, give it an X. If I feel like I did good, I give it a check mark.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to track it. Um,
And then so far, even though I have shit the bed last night, if you look at my OP.GG, the only game I won, I will honestly say I think I did like I could check off all five. Like I did good even though I
mhm.
wasn't fed.
I mean, there's some games that like there's some games that you can't win necessarily. So even in those games that you can't win, you have to like try to improve as much as you can because each game can like count. Because like say you lost one game and like there was no way you could win it, it was a 4v5, but like you practiced, you know, trading or something. Like you practiced Oriana versus Ahri and you may have like lost the game, but you still like learned how to trade better. You're like, I'm confident in this matchup now, or something like that. And so like that can help you win your next game. So I would say don't worry too much about the wins and losses, but that's hard to do. Uh,
Indulge me. They've exhausted their youth. Let's have some real fun.
Mm-hmm. Should have backed up there.
No one will stand in my way. Playtime over.
Oh my god.
it's all good. There was things that you
Yeah.
did better that time actually.
Yeah, I
Even
still
though
didn't respect how far you could have get onto me level two. That was really bad.
yeah,
Sorry to cut you off.
no, you're good. Unfortunately, I can't record that one because like I was recording the other parts, I guess.
It's alright. You're not allowed to record those things anyways,
No.
or at least not put them on the internet.
um.
Yeah.
So
Alright, I'm restarting my client.
okay, yeah. It's weird that we have to do that. Um, I'd say like the one thing that you did better this time is there was a few times where like you hit Qs on me that were like well timed. They weren't just like random. They was when I was going for last hits. Um, I think you still had the problem where I got the wave push before you, which may just happen, okay? But then
Mm-hmm.
like you still took an auto for free, and I think one part of my Q for free because I had like a 2 minion advantage hitting as well. Um, so that was obviously not very good. We just didn't back up in time. And then the level 2 trade, it looked like you also weren't ready again. And then after that, it was like I was like up half your HP, so it was kind of hard. Um,
Yeah,
and then there was one time where I wish I could show you, I guess, but I thought you were gonna trade on me, and then you ended up just hitting the creep. And so like I instead of going for my creep, I went for you. So there was like
was it when
whether
I was getting level 2?
no, I was still at level 1. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Don't you trust
So I know this is going to be a really matchup dependent question, but where you said they'll have the Q to like tether you. If I Q you, obviously it gives you incentive to Q the wave.
Yeah.
And if my Q is on cooldown, that probably means that you have now secured the push, unless I can Q the wave next and maybe fight back for it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know
Yeah.
specifically. Could it almost be debatable for me to hold the Q because you have to respect it if I hold it and just keep securing the push through autos and not even
Um,
worry about fucking?
Probably
Like,
not
Souls may
because
forget they've
I'm
ever
gonna queue
lived.
anyways if you queue.
Obsession begins when they forget
If that
they've
makes
died.
sense. Like,
what if I don't hold? What if I don't use Q though?
what if you
Like,
don't use Q? I'm just gonna queue the wave. So you're just gonna be
gotcha,
farming under tower the whole time.
gotcha. I guess that's true. You'll
Yeah.
just because you're accepting you'll get hit by it either way.
Yeah. Like I'm okay getting hit by your Qs. I should be getting hit by more of them, but like, it's like a thing I've willingly already like established. Like I'm gonna get hit by your Q. Like if I was against like a Xerath or something, I'd be like trying to dodge it, but like at this point, like it's like I could try to juke it, but like there's like sometimes like Oriana, you just like can't dodge it sometimes. So
encourage me?
Yeah.
the skin is so bad.
It's all right. You're about to have a spirit blossom.
Yeah, I hope that it's soon.
I think it's August 6th, if I'm correct.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And then your special event. Oh boy.
So here you should be looking to queue me. Perfect. Nice. Nice. He's insane! Wait, watch out, watch out, watch out. Alright. Now remember I'm gonna hit level 2.
Fuck.
So you wanna make sure you try to get XP, but not if it's too scary.
No one will stand in my way.
Just make sure we're not standing in the wave.
Let's have some real fun. They're mine now.
Probably be a good recall.
Oh,
I'll just let you recall.
yeah, I thought about it the moment I stood still. But you also get this slow push
Yeah.
because of what you just did. You could have been nice.
Yeah, I could have been nicer than I already was.
I gotta start doing that like you did.
It's pretty impractical in a real game, honestly. I think I would only do that like once every like 10 or maybe more.
So right there, you want to consider it worth? Because right now the wave's looking pretty worth to me, unless you're worried about the
Oh, well, yeah,
harass.
it's good for me. It's good for me, but I just the double recall at the same time is generally not how a lane happens, I guess.
Gotcha.
Usually one person's winning forces the other one to be.
Gotcha.
Nice. Oh no. No! GG.
Hold on. I
Screenshot
gotta
it.
go find my
Screenshot
mom.
it.
I gotta go find my mom. Hold on. Where's my
Leave the game. Don't
motherfucking
hold me
phone?
hostage.
It doesn't matter now. It's already too late.
Oh, it's going on YouTube. What do you
Oh,
mean?
I'm taking it. Oh yeah. I'm about to see
So
now
do you know
this.
what you did better that
To
time?
not meme everything, but I definitely play level 1 best out of all these compared to all the
I
others.
agree
I
on the
would say
level one.
I respected you getting level 2, so I completely backed up.
You still let me get a decent trade when I got the push, though. There was that. Like at level one.
Oh yeah, I
I think I
remember
got
that.
2 autos, so maybe a
The
Q.
2 or 3 autos. Yeah. Around the fire thing. And
And we just
around this
last hit
thing right
now.
here. Yeah, now is when I start pinging my jungler that I need help for a good back because I have no mana. So,
Oh, he
ooh,
lives. Alright, leave this game.
gotcha. Yeah, let me close my client. Actually, that better be there. Oh god, I need the VOD of that one.
Oh yeah, I'm recording
Oh, I
now.
know what I'm. I got a meme with my friends that I'm in Discord with. If you play with us sometime, it's kind of fun. Or it'd be funny if you roast people. We'll just start streaming on Discord, and everyone just starts watching. You get flamed and shit.
I don't know
Or
if I
we'll
I
hype
don't
you
know if
up
I could
if you do
handle the
something cool.
pressure.
Nah, I don't think anyone can badmouth you if you're challenger. Our best player is Plat 2, so like you'll be like, bruh, I could off roll and get a higher elo. Which sadly you probably could. You could probably
Yeah,
lock in jungle and hit diamond.
probably. So like, what's the biggest things I guess you learned from these 1v1s?
Um, I definitely need to start putting more respect on things.
But don't be too respectful. I mean, there,
Um,
to an extent you need to have some respect, but as Oriana
I
you can kind of ignore respect sometimes.
I need to definitely be min-maxing my opportunities more than I am.
Yeah.
Even though you're 90% better than most of the, I shouldn't say 90, 100% better
Yeah.
than everyone I'm going to play against. I feel like I was playing the best against you because I know I had to do it,
Yeah.
and I had to put myself out of the comfort zone of doing it.
One of the things is like whenever you're queuing, I notice that you stand still a lot, and if you want to play Oriana, you need to like be more. You need to work on your movement for like when you queue and that you're continuously moving. Um, it's a little bit easier when you're like running away and then like queue backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But there was times where you like would walk forward and then you'd Q and then like stand still for like half a second or maybe less, and then like walk back because you like only press Q. You press Q and let your character walk to the edge, and then like it would use it. So I'd say that's one of the big like Oriana specific mechanics that you could work on. Um, and then focus. I think you really need to focus a lot on like when you're leveling up and when the enemy's leveling up because that's where you like you can look for all these small trades like, oh, like I could get this Q, I could land this E and stuff, but like what if you just like win the trade 95% of the time if you're level 2 and they're level 1? Like it just makes things
Mm-hmm.
a lot easier without having to like consider a bunch of other factors of where they're dodging and stuff. It's just like you just walk at them at level 2. Um, Unfortunately, in this matchup, like I was just getting level 2 every time. I think that will generally be the case, especially if I run Corrupting Pot and like just take the free damage. But there are a lot of matchups where Oriana gets 2 for free. Like almost every other matchup, Oriana gets 2 for free above the opponent. And so you can kind of do what I was doing, where it's just like I just kind of walk at you and just like use my spells. Um, and you don't have to always take QW. You could also like take E or like there's different variations that you do. It doesn't have to be always the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen Dopa. He takes E into Syndra's
Yeah,
second.
yeah. People used to take E first on Oriana. Those were the days.
Hmm.
It was like broken back then, but now no one does. Um, but yeah, if you ever want to do it some other time, let me know. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube and I'll link it to you. Is that all right?
Oh, that's fine by me. I
Okay.
think your channel name is still Lemur, right? I think I
Yeah.
remember looking it up before.
Yeah, I think so.
I
Yeah, I think
look at
it
I
is.
type in Lemur and I see Getting High. Give me the channel.
Yeah, I'll give it to you after this. All right. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man. I
Yep.
appreciate the time.
No problem. You can have you killing me immortalized in this video.
Ooh, Discord stream tonight.
All right, later.
Later,
Peace.
man.
All right, and that's it for the coaching session. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a comment, and I'll 1v1 anyone you want, or yourself, your friend. I don't know, whatever you want. I could do a coaching session like this. Just let me know. All right, peace.